Hi everybody. First things first, you'll need to get yourself a glass, like I have. Maybe a nice bottle of 14.5% French Ventoux wine. Pour yourself a wee glass, or a big one, and wish a very happy birthday to one of our supporters. Lorna lives just 7 miles down the road, and Lorna has reached the big 5-0. So happy birthday, Lorna. Very nice. Lorna has been a supporter right from the start, right from when Making a Murderer first came out. She told me that she watched it straight away and has followed avidly everything that's been going on in the case. We plug for the Scottish Borders. We in the Borders think that we live in the most beautiful place in the world. I'll try and leave a link below advertising that very fact. And everybody in the Borders are all proud of their own wee town, and quite rightly so. And isn't it interesting, when I first watched Making a Murderer and we saw footage of Manitoc there on Lake Michigan, both me and my wife both said, "Oh, that looks absolutely lovely. Looks wonderful. What a beautiful place. What a wonderful place Manitoc is." And having found out a little bit about it, it reminds me of, in the film Shrek. Everybody knows Shrek. Shrek and Donkey, they visit the town of Duloc and find it all deserted because everybody's at the tournament. And they go to a little information booth. Donkey pulls the lever and they have this little song that goes, "Welcome to Duloc, such a perfect town. Here we have some rules, let us lay them down. Could you please stay in line and we'll get on just fine. Duloc is a perfect place. Please keep off of the grass, shine your shoes, wipe your face. Duloc is a perfect place." And it reminds me of Manitoc. Duloc, Manitoc. Okay. I remember I once asked my good pal Eric Ozey about why Manitoc had a police department and a county sheriff's department, and he pointed out that certain towns and cities, local government decide that through taxes they're going to have their own police force just for the city. Manitoc town is certainly one of those places. It's got its own police department, which unfairly got a lot of criticism a while back, but thankfully people have realised that in fact the sheriff department, the police department, did their utmost to try and prevent Stephen Avery being wrongfully convicted the first time. Now, I have no doubt whatsoever that people in Manitoc, normal law-abiding citizens of Manitoc, are as proud of their town, city of Manitoc, as people here in the Scottish Borders are, or people that live in beautiful places, wherever it may be, the Caribbean, Canada, Australia. No matter where they are, everybody's proud of their own town or city that they live in, particularly if it is quite idyllic. But there's a line in this song, isn't it? Could you please stay in line and we'll get on just fine. And I can't help thinking that if you step out of line in Manitoc, you're in big trouble. And let's face it, Stephen Avery is no Mike Peterson. The people in Manitoc were absolutely delighted to see him put away back in '85. Imagine how disappointed they were when it was found 18 years later that he had been wrongfully convicted. Stephen Avery is suddenly famous and about to become filthy rich. He was going to become very, very wealthy. I can't imagine what the people of Manitoc thought about that notion, and the sheriff's department and everybody there. So imagine how pleased they were when Stephen gets framed for the disappearance of Teresa Holbrook and gets put away for life. They must be on some sort of roller coaster over there in Manitoc, because then how disappointed when Making a Murderer came out. How disappointed must they have been then? I know from personal experience, it was one of the things that certainly Sheriff Herman was particularly upset about. The fact that it portrayed Manitoc in such a bad light. And of course, since Making a Murderer came out, one of the most ridiculous things, most pathetic things that I think we have ever seen were attempts by certain individuals to do two things. First, to get Netflix to stop showing Making a Murderer, to take it off their listings, and to cease working on Series 2 with this pathetic excuse that it's just dredging up the past. It's disrespectful to the memory of Teresa Holbrook. That is just patently ridiculous. The only people who disrespect the memory of Teresa Holbrook were those that got up on a witness stand and lied under oath. They're the ones that should be brought to blame for this. And we can't wait to see the ones that perjured themselves and deliberately tried to frame Steve, get what's coming to them. So, there is, sorry, here's another toast. Again, happy birthday, Lorna. I hope you'll have a gin and tonic or 3 this afternoon in celebration. There's a rumour, it's quite a strong rumour, that Making a Murderer number 2 is coming out pretty soon. I think that there is going to be an announcement fairly soon about the actual release date of Making a Murderer 2, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant when that comes out. It's been nearly 3 years since the original series came out, and some of us have been there. Well, I wasn't there right from the start. It was March, February before I joined in. And I know some of you supporters out there have been following this right from the start. And yes, there have been times when there's been the odd lull in things going on. There's been the huge, obviously, disappointment of, well, first of all, the annoyance at Judge Superwitch for completely dismissing the motions and stuff that Kathleen Zellner has put forward. You know, things like the obvious lack of any bone matter on the bullet, completely ridiculous. There was the absurdity of SCOTUS not accepting Brendan's case when the 7th Circuit en banc had rejected Brendan's appeal to have the confession thrown out, and to use the pathetic control question. I'm sorry to keep going on about the control question. Well, I'm not actually, because it's a very, very important aspect to this. The fact that control question proves categorically that Brendan's will was overborne, and hopefully we'll have news from Eric Jose about his new batch of t-shirts being available soon. Anyway, I think I've kept you long enough for now, and well, have a nice day, particularly the lovely Lorna, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.